You need a footstool for every room you see.
Alright guys, been a while since I did one of these. New camera, new means of recording audio, no druids in the background. Quite a lot of games to show this time, around 30 titles. It has been accumulated over a few months. I have been meaning to do this video for a while. In fact, I even tried to record it last weekend. Recorded about 40 minutes worth of footage without actually hitting the record button. So right now we do have a red light on, so it's definitely recording. If not, the camera's faulty. Let's hope not, because I don't think I'm going to do this for a third time. Should probably look at the lens, not the viewfinder. Lens, not the viewfinder. It's probably not going to happen. I'm going to be looking at the viewfinder because my hair distracts me. Anyway, yeah, 30 games this time, mainly Xbox 360, which we'll get to. I'm not going to do these in any particular order, just whatever comes to hand first. We'll start off with some PS3 pickups. And a lot of these I haven't played. Well, actually, not a lot. Probably say about a quarter of them I haven't played yet, just because I haven't got round to it. The ones I have played, though, I will have something to say about. Nothing worse than when people do pickups videos and they just show something and say they haven't played it. So I'm very, very sorry, but it's going to be a bit of that. First game, haven't played. I got it for free actually. I went into Game Station last weekend, bought some games in there, 2 for 3 deal, some cheap games. Haven't really been spending a lot, but a quantity. Yeah, but yeah, obviously I used to work there, and speaking to someone who used to work with at the time, it's been about 7 years since I worked there, and he said that, have you got a PS3? I said yes. He goes, let me get something for you. And just popped out back and grabbed the Tomb Raider trilogy for me on PlayStation 3. Oh, this camera's it's in reverse or something. That's not good. Yeah, he gave me this for free. He said they couldn't sell it because it's got the American rating on it. Apparently they can't sell titles with this rating on it, which presumably means you can't trade them in either. But yeah, I haven't played this yet. I do look forward to it because I'm a big fan of Tomb Raider Underworld. I've never actually finished the original Tomb Raider game, which I'm ashamed to say. And Legend I enjoyed, but didn't get too far on it. I do actually own all 3 of these on 360 already. I'll be damned if I know where they are. But I think Tomb Raider belongs on a PlayStation really, so I might enjoy these more on a PlayStation. I do look forward to giving this a try. Next we have another game series which really does belong on PlayStation. Not that I don't own them on whatever platform that is. Xbox 360, that's the badger. Yeah, it definitely belongs on PlayStation, and that game is Tekken Hybrid, which is a HD remake of Tekken Tag. It also includes Tekken Tag 2 Prologue, which I think is just arcade mode of Tekken Tag 2. Correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't played it yet. I have played the HD remake of Tekken Tag though. It is really, really good. Also includes Tekken Blood Vengeance 3D, which I think is a film. Not watched it yet. I will give it a watch, but it's got a fantastic cover. This one has. Looks really great. Plays really well as well. Very, very happy to own this one. I think it only cost me like £6 brand new as well. Yeah, very happy to have that one. Next, more of the same really, but PlayStation 2 titles. So we have the same game again. This is Tekken Tag Tournament. Where we're going, it's all backwards. I'm used to being sat the other way. Do let me know if you think this is an improvement on the webcam, by the way, because I will go back if it's not. Yeah, Tekken Tag Tournament, which is boxed and complete and back to front, unless I have flipped this video around, which I'm likely to. Yeah, this is a fantastic game. I've never actually played this before, and after adoring Tekken Tag 2, I had to pick it up. It's been a game I've wanted for a long time, but just never got around to playing it. Absolutely fantastic. And Tekken 5, which I think completes my Tekken collection, to be honest. I've been meaning to get Tekken 5 and Tekken Tag on the PS2 for a long time. 5, it's fine, it's just Tekken. I like Tekken 3 and 2, to be honest. Anything beyond that, it's a little bit too much for me to get grips of. I spent most of my time on Tekken 3. I did really enjoy Tekken 6 though. Yeah, very, very happy to have these two. They cost me like £1 each in a charity shop. Next, we'll stick with a PlayStation theme. I got this in a charity shop again for 99p, and that is Street Fighter EX plus Alpha. Which I'm not 100% sure how I feel about this yet. It is Street Fighter, and it is 3D. It looks a lot like Virtua Fighter, so it's very, very polygony, very blocky. It doesn't move that well. When you jump, you tend to go fucking 600 feet in the eye, and it takes you... It takes you 600 feet in the air, and it takes you quite a while to descend. The controls are quite clunky. Specials are really easy to pull off. But arcade mode is ridiculously hard. I can't even get past stage 3, and I played it for a good hour. A lot of the characters I don't know. 12 all new fighters apparently. Does it tell you the fighters in the manual? It is boxed and complete, but it's not in great condition. Let's see, characters. So you've got Ryu, Dalsim, Sakura, Ken, Hokoto, which I don't think I know who she is, Chun-Li, of course, C-Jack and D-Dark. I don't know who they are. D-Dark is impossible to fight against though. You've got Zangief and Guile. You've got Pullum and Skullomania. I ain't got a clue who these guys are. Chiari and Allen. Not a clue, I'm probably pronouncing these wrong as well. Durun and Blair. Again, not a fucking clue who these guys are. They may have appeared in other Street Fighter titles, but I've never played as them. Obviously Akuma and Bison. And Garuda, which I think I do know. Could be wrong though. He's quite fun to play as. But although it's not that great, I am glad I own it. It's worth giving a go. It is 3D, but it's still 2D playing. I assumed it was going to be a bit like Tekken actually. Almost disappointed that it's not. Next, we have me correcting my hair. We have two 3DS games. I've recorded a little bit of footage about these because I think it's best if you can see them firsthand. But the first game is Tekken 3D Prime Edition. Now this game is fantastic, but I've got a couple of problems with them, which I will show you now. I don't know how well you can see this, but there is clearly no arcade mode, which is just ridiculous. Who ever heard of a Tekken game without an arcade mode? But the game itself does look very attractive. Obviously I can't put the 3D on right now. Let's just put quick battle on. Let's go for random. Whatever that is, it's very hard to play. I'm basically playing through the viewfinder. Who am I? Steve Fox. I don't know how to use him. It does look very attractive. The only issue I've got with this is that the backgrounds are static, and obviously, of course, the lack of arcade mode. God, I'm moving the screen all over the place. Indeed I do. Anyway, that's enough of this. This isn't a review. So yeah, it plays beautifully, but it's static backgrounds, which is my main issue with Super Street Fighter 3D, and there's no arcade mode. Who ever heard of no arcade mode in a Tekken game? It's just wrong. But the game does play very well. No cart in it because I keep them elsewhere. But definitely glad to own it. Again, this only cost me like under $5 brand new. Then we have another 3DS game, which I have got some footage of, as I just said previously, which is Project X Zone. Now this game is a Namco, Capcom, Sega, I'm sure there's possibly some other companies in it as well. It is a real-time strategy game, which I'll just watch the fucking footage. So yeah, this is Project X Zone, which is clearly best described with a little bit of video footage on this because I think it's quite unique. So it's obviously a strategy RPG with Capcom and Namco characters. Half the characters I don't actually know because I'm not too familiar with any Namco series really. But I'm playing as Chun-Li at the moment, and the combat system is quite good. It's like turn-based RPG, which is right up my alley. The game looks absolutely fantastic. Actually, I've got Morrigan on my team at the moment, and I just find the game a very enjoyable experience. Highly recommend it for fans of strategy RPGs, and even if you're not. As you can see, the combat is nuts. Anyway, that's enough of this. But yeah, the game looks fantastic. As you just saw, it is real-time strategy, but with turn-based RPG elements. I don't know half the characters in it, but the characters I do know are very, very good to play with. Worth a try, this one, even if you like me and don't like RTS games. Probably show you that it is complete, and the artwork on this is just fantastic. Quite sad that I couldn't get the special edition of this one. Next we have a single GameCube game. Nothing special, but I'm happy to own it, as I did spend quite a fair bit of time with this on multiplayer when it originally came out, and that is Need for Speed Underground. I know a lot of people have a preference for Need for Speed Underground 2, but I personally prefer this one. Boring old GameCube's fine, and it is boxed and complete. Again, only cost me like 99p from a charity shop. Buckets of fun, that one. Next we have a game which I'm ashamed I picked it up, to be honest. I had a lapse, I suppose, because I try not to just pick up games for the sake of picking them up, but I clearly did. This is a brand new and sealed Games for Windows Live game. Grand Theft Auto episodes from Liberty City, so Lost and the Damned and Ballad of Gay Tony. So yeah, it's still sealed. It'll probably remain that way. It cost me £2.59 apparently. Don't know if you can see that. I ain't got a clue because the viewfinder is miles away. Still getting the gist of this camera, but I probably will play this actually, because I've got GTA 4 on 360, but I never bothered getting the downloadable episodes. So I'll probably give them a quick bash, but I'm not expecting much because I don't really rate the Grand Theft Auto franchise. Next, we've got a couple of PSP games. First one I haven't played. Very, very sorry about that. But I hear it's quite good. Departure from the series, but I look forward to giving it a try. It's a Konami game. It's Metal Gear Acid. Obviously one of the older PSP titles at this point. But I do look forward to giving it a go. I ain't got a clue what kind of game it is. I think it's like timed missions or something. The inside box art of this is great. That's what I like to see. I do like the way that Sony sticks with doing this theme. It is boxed and complete with manual. The manual has got your classic PSP bend in it because of its single clip, which is to be expected. But the disc is pretty spanking. Quite happy to own this because I've been wanting to try it for a while. And next we have a game that I'm quite happy to pick up because last time I looked at it, it was quite pricey. That might have changed though. That game is Jak and Daxter: The Lost Frontier. Got this for around £3 or something on Amazon. I've been looking for this for ages because I'm a fan of the Jak and Daxter series and did want this on the PlayStation 2, but the PlayStation 2 version cost 30 quid. I ain't got a clue why. Well, last time I looked anyway, but when I saw this just pop up in my feed, £3, I had to jump on it. I have played a little bit of it and it's very good, but it's just traditional Jak and Daxter. You can't go wrong with it. Boxed and complete, and again, the inside is absolutely lovely. And it doesn't have the traditional PSP bend in it. Next, we have a couple of Wii games, both which I haven't played yet. Sorry. Very, very sorry, please forgive me. Yeah, I haven't played these yet. First being Dead Space Extraction, which I believe is just the first Dead Space game, but it's been made into an on-rail shooter. I could be wrong. Okay, apparently I am wrong. Apparently it's a prequel. And I'm pretty sure it's an on-rail shooter. I want to play it. I'll correct myself if I am wrong. I hate to give out wrong information, but it is boxed and complete. It cost me naffle from a charity shop. I've been wanting to try this one for a while. I've been wanting to get into the Dead Space series for the longest time, but I'm too chicken shit to play through them. I figure a Wii title where I can play it in the front room probably going to be less scary than a 360 title which I have to play in here. I don't have to play in here, I prefer to play in here. Next Wii title we have Diblob. Not played this one yet, but I did play Diblob 2 on the Xbox 360, and that game is just fantastic. Absolutely traditional style platformer, really heavily stylised, but it looks fantastic. It's very easy to play, it's very easy just to sit back and chill on. I'm quite happy to own this one. This one's supposedly better than the second one, so I look forward to getting into that. Next we have a big pile of 360 games. First 3 games I haven't played yet. First 3 games I haven't played yet, because I only picked these up the other day. First one I very much look forward to giving a try, and that game is Akai Katana, with some piss poor box art. I don't like that whole Japanese anime style, which probably a reason not for me to like these, I suppose, but it is I'm not sure what to call them, it is a shmup cave shooter. Much like Death Smiles, I've heard great things about it, so I really look forward to giving it a go. Boxed and complete, cost me like £5. Well, less than, because it was in that 2 for 3 deal that I was about. Next we have a horror game, which means I'm probably not going to complete it, but I look forward to giving it a go because it's classed as one of those must-plays at the moment, and even on the box it has a 10 out of 10 perfect thing, so it's got to be worth a bash. That game is Deadly Premonition. It's not in the best of condition, but I got that box art, it's cool. So yeah, I heard a lot about this game. It's even still got a sticker on the manual. Gonna have to address that right now because 1, I love peeling stickers. Oh, that's good. 2, I can't fucking abide them being on my shit. I'm not a retail store. There we go. You wouldn't even know. Oh, that felt good. Doesn't feel good on my hands though. Get off. Yeah, Deadly Premonition, box and complete. Next we have another horror game, but probably will finish this one. It's a game I've been meaning to play for the longest time. I've tried it on the original Xbox, but probably about 10 minutes at most. I can barely remember it. And that game is Doom 3 Big Fucking Gun Edition in a rather dog-eared sleeve. Yeah, I imagine most people have played this title. Apparently it's for the 20th anniversary of Doom, but it's boxed and complete. I do very much look forward to properly giving Doom 3 a go. Recently bought Doom 2 on Xbox Live Arcade Marketplace as well, and that game is fucking awesome. Next we have a game which you've probably seen everyone pick up a million times over. I'm very late to the party with this one. Wasn't originally going to buy it, but again I had a momentary lapse and bought it for the sake of something to buy. I wish I didn't, to be honest, I really wish I didn't. Didn't cost too much though, it's either like £15-20 something from Tesco's. And that game is Grand Theft Auto 5. I'm not even going to bother you showing the spine and all that on this one, as you've probably seen it a million times. It does have 2 discs though. Anyway, yeah, Grand Theft Auto 5 is much better than Grand Theft Auto 4, but it's still it's dull. I'm not far into the story yet, and it does have an interesting mechanic. I like how you can switch between characters mid gameplay. The graphics are really nice and single player, but it's really boring. I don't like gangsters and thugs and gangs and crime and all that shit at the best of times, but I just expect more from such a highly rated title. Multiplayer is supposed to be where it really shines, but I've given it a quick go. The missions are really basic, brief and expected. People are arseholes online. Even when you're set to friendly mode, people just start running into you with cars just to try and piss you off, which is to be expected I suppose, but I wish there was some sort of dedicated server where people who didn't want to fight could join. Maybe there is, I don't know about it. it's very laggy. It's very, very, very glitchy. A friend of mine showed me an area of the game where you can literally just drive through the wall of a car park and go under the ground and just shoot people from under the floor. Yeah, very, very disappointing. I weren't expecting a lot from it anyway, but unless it's 2D, I think Grand Theft Auto is always going to be bland. Next, we have a game which took me by surprise. I don't like the cartoon, and I weren't expecting a lot from it, but it is a very, very good title, and that game is South Park and the Stick of Truth. This is very, very much a proper RPG, 2D turn-based RPG, and it's just really, really fun. The story is, it looks like you're playing through an episode of South Park, which for me is not too much of a good thing, because the humour is really juvenile at best. But the gameplay is just really fun. You don't play as one of the main cast, you get to create your own hero, which is quite cool. It's just a really, really enjoyable experience. I recommend this one. Next, we have a huge disappointment to me, because this game is from Grasshopper Manufacturer, which is the same developer that made Lollipop Chainsaw and Shadows of the Damned, which I highly rate you play if you haven't yet. I love those games, they're fantastic. I expected this to be more of the same, because it does look heavily stylised, but maybe I haven't given it enough chance yet, but it's shite. It's shite at best. That game is Killer is Dead, limited edition, apparently. I don't know how limited it is. I don't even know what you get for it being limited. The graphics are really nice, but I'm not into the whole, again, Japanese gangster thing. The story is way over the top. In fact, I don't understand what the hell is going on. I found myself wanting to skip the cutscenes a lot of the time, which this game mainly is. And I played 3 chapters, and I reckon 3/4 of that time has been cutscenes. First chapter, you literally just walk forward, then shoot someone in the head. No, you get shot in the head, sorry. Spoiler, it's the first level. Who cares? Second level, you press X a couple of times. Third level is just a massive acid. Might as well be acid. Massive Alice in Wonderland rip-off that it doesn't do it justice. Usually Alice in Wonderland things are really good, but it's somehow managed to make it poor. So I'm not impressed with Killer is Dead yet. I'll probably stick with it and get to the end, but it's not really tantalising me at the moment. Very disappointing. It does have a couple of Shadows of the Damned references in it so far though, so maybe I'm going to play it just to see if there's any Lollipop Chainsaw references in it, which there no doubt are. Graphically it looks really nice though. Next we have a very underrated, fantastic Capcom game that I'm ashamed to say I haven't finished yet. I originally bought this on Steam last year. I've about 3-4 chapters into it, but it's bloody brilliant. The story is absolutely amazing. Graphically it looks amazing on Steam. Don't know how well it's going to stand up on 360 version, but brilliant game. That game is Remember Me. Obviously I'm a bit biased because I love Capcom games, but it is absolutely fantastic. Unfortunately the manual's fucked and there's a bit of writing on the disc, but it didn't cost me too much. Sorry about that. Massive belch, didn't think I'd put that on camera. Yeah, it didn't cost me too much. If you want to know about this game, the best thing you could do is just look at some footage of it, because it's just too much to explain. The story is very good though, and the gameplay mechanics are really, really, really fun. The combos are unlike anything I've ever seen in any game. They're a bit simple at first, but it just does expand. Try this if you're into games like Devil May Cry, I suppose. Next we have Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. This didn't cost me much. I've been wanting to try it for a while, as it's Konami, it's Metal Gear. I'm not a massive fan of the Metal Gear series on the whole, by the way, so I don't know why I'm saying that. But it's just something I've wanted to try for a while. The combat in this is very, very fluid. It's a very, very fun experience. Don't like the main character you play as. I don't know anyone who's ever said, I really like Raiden, or Raiden, however you say his name. But gameplay wise it's really fun, really over the top. It's a lot like Bayonetta, as to be expected, as it is Platinum Games. But the thing with this, as with most Metal Gear games, it's mainly cutscenes, and again I found myself wanting to skip them all the time just to get to the gameplay, and that's not good. Next we have a game I haven't played. Very sorry again. The reason I haven't played this one is because I haven't yet finished the first game in the series, which I am very, very, very much enjoying. But I've put down for a while because I've managed to get myself stuck in a dungeon. I can't get fucking out. I'm probably going to have to start it again. I bought this because it was dirt cheap. I thought I'd get it while I can. It's probably going to go dirt cheap anyway, but it was brand new and I wanted the code in it. But this game is Risen 2 Dark Waters. So yeah, hopefully it's just exactly the same as the first game, but with pirates. If that is the case, I can see myself really, really heavily getting into this. Just hide the code away. Next we have a highly underrated game. I didn't even realise it was out, in fact. I bought it for about £13 brand new, not realising it was out. Looked at reviews after I bought it and they're all got like 1 star. So not a wise purchase if I was going off the reviews, but who gives a shit about reviews anyway. I really enjoy it. I don't think it deserves the flack it gets for 1 second, but that game is iv'e Ninja Gaiden Z. Now this is not a lot like the original Ninja Gaiden games or the 3D Ninja Gaiden games. You don't play as Ryu for a start, or Ryu, or however the fuck you want to say his name, Ryu. You play as iv'e, who is killed by Ryu at the beginning of the game, and it's basically just about getting revenge. It's like a hack and slash version of Borderlands. Sorry, to show you sort of the case, because you get a little comic with it, which is very, very cool. Nice touch. Possibly only with a special edition, because you get a soundtrack with it as well, which is very cool. But yeah, the art style on this is very, very nice. Cell shaded. It's got a lot of humour to it. The combat is well over the top. You can pull off like 400 hit combos from the get-go. It's just waves and waves of enemy, and you just got to slash through them. Story's not all that, but it's fun to play. The only main gripe I've got with this is the camera angles are piss poor. You can be happily slashing away at enemies and the camera will just pan out and you can barely see your character anymore. You have zero control over the camera, which is really, really poor. Why developers even implement that into a game anymore, I do not know. But I actually recommend you play this again if you're a fan of games like Devil May Cry or hack and slashes in general. Maybe not if you're a fan of the Ninja Gaiden franchise, because it's not a lot like it, but I think it's worth a play. And it is a special edition apparently. There's probably no other edition. Next we have a game which is quite disappointing, but I haven't played a lot of it yet, so I'm holding back judgment. That game is Deadpool. This is what awesome looks like apparently. As you can expect, this game is absolutely fucking hilarious. The gameplay is pretty poor though. It's hack and slash, but done really, really badly with third-person shooter elements. The main thing I like about this so far is that you can just interact with pretty much any object, and the amount of dialogue options you get for it. Like at the beginning of the game, Deadpool's sat on a couch. You can easily watch him for 20 minutes, and he's having a conversation with himself for that whole 20 minutes, and he won't repeat the same dialogue twice. So it's worth playing just for hearing the dialogue. But quite a disappointment. Games in my console at the moment. I'll tell you what is a disappointment. That's your manual. That's not cool. Next we have another momentary lapse in my buying habits. I wouldn't have normally bought this, I just bought it because I think I was out at the time and it was a bit miffed off. So I just bought something. Again, it was only 99p in a charity shop. One of the first 360 games to come out, I believe. That game is Dead or Alive Extreme 2. So it's just beach games with Dead or Alive characters. The beach games last about a minute each. I ain't got a clue how to play them. You don't get a chance to get the grips of it before they're over. And it's bulked out with a story of some kind that is beyond dull. You could physically fall asleep at the cutscenes of this game. Why they even tried, I do not know. Avoid it if you can. I wouldn't go near it. Next we have a fighter that plays a lot like BlazBlue, and that is Persona 4 Arena. Or is it Persona Arena 4? I'm not too sure. I have a German copy apparently. I ain't got a clue how to pronounce that. I'm not even going to attempt it. But yeah, heavily stylised fighter where every character is completely unique. Love the BlazBlue games. I've not played too much of this, but what I have played has been very interesting so far. It comes with a soundtrack. Unfortunately, instead of being like a double case thing, it just comes like that, and it doesn't really fit in the case, so it's getting a bit dog-eared already, which is a shame. But yeah, if you're a fan of BlazBlue, definitely give this one a go. Next, we have Diablo 3. A lot of people flack this because it's on a console mainly. I can't think of any other reason why they're flacking it. I think it's quite good. It's just dungeon crawler. It's nothing like Diablo 2, but it's quite fun. I'm not far into it yet. I've only played it as single player, and if I think it's fun in single player, it's going to blow my mind in multiplayer. I got this off someone, like 4 games for £20. This game you can buy for £20 on your own, so it's a bargain. Inside of the case is awesome. I love that. But I don't know if it doesn't come with a manual, but I didn't get a manual with it, unfortunately, which is a shame. But yeah, Diablo 3. Even if I don't finish this, I should probably mention that my collecting habits are just RPG and fighter at this point in time. So, goes to the RPG collection. Next, we have Minecraft 360 edition. Personally, I can't get into this. I've played about half an hour of it, and I just found myself killing sheep more than mining or doing anything. I couldn't find any kind of story arc to it. I don't think it's supposed to. But when I play a game, I kind of want to. Or when I play a game like this, I kind of want to have some sort of story, even if it's bad. Maybe it's fun on multiplayer, I don't know. I can't understand the hype about it at the moment. Maybe you can lose yourself into it if you've got something to do, but I couldn't find anything to do. Maybe that's a lack of imagination on my part, but I couldn't get into it. Next, we have Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2. Now, I'm very late to the party with this one, which is surprising for me because this was one of my most looked forward to games of all time during the 360's lifespan. Cover art is piss poor, by the way, before I say anything else. If you compare it, I don't know if you can hear me because I'm facing away from you. If you compare it to the original, really, it just doesn't stand up to it. And that's true of the entire game, really. Let me just put this back. Yeah, that's very much true of the whole game. They changed the direction on this one a lot. Instead of it being like levels, like the first game was, strung across 2 discs, which was arguably too long, but a fantastic game. Love that game. It's open world. They tried to make it a bit like Symphony of the Night, I guess. It's open world set across 2 different worlds. So you get Dracula's Castle, which is set in the past, and modern day times, which is obviously set in modern day times. What with it being called modern day times, and it doesn't suit modern day times at all. Gameplay is fine for the most part until you get to stealthy sections where it tries to do a bit of a Metal Gear Solid thing. It's got to be the Konami branding on that. Branding, developer, publisher, I don't fucking know. You know what I mean. Yeah, the stealth sections are really crap. They're not even hard. They're just an annoyance that you don't want them to be there. But it's worth playing for the story, other than the ending. I found the ending disappointed me beyond belief. I've not played the DLC for this, which is supposed to expand on the ending. But yeah, overall a big disappointment for me, although a very good game at the same time. Probably only worth playing if you're a Castlevania fan. And finally, we have Defiance, which again, I'm very late to the party on this one. Wanted this game for the longest time, but it needed to drop in price. It's just become free to play and free to download on PC. I believe it will be following suit on PS3 and Xbox 360 soon, so if you're thinking of buying it, do hold off, because I'm sure you will be able to download it for free. If I'm wrong, sorry for the misinformation, but yeah, I downloaded this on Steam just to give it a go. I have heard bad things about it, which is another reason why I've been holding off, even though I personally think it looked awesome. And it blew my mind. Graphically on PC, it was absolutely amazing. I love the character creation, and it's just really, really easy going. I love the missions. It reminds me a lot of Phantasy Star Online in a lot of aspects. In others, not so much, but as you probably all know, I love Phantasy Star Online. The only thing that really worries me about this game is that it is online only, which means when the servers do go down and Xbox 360 is no longer playable online, it's just going to be a waste piece of plastic, which they did with Phantasy Star Online on the original Xbox, but didn't do with the GameCube or Dreamcast version. What's all that about? Why publish a game that you can't play offline? Even if it's stupidly hard or unplayable offline, at least give you the option to attempt it, for Christ's sake. But yeah, this is fantastic. After playing this, I went and bought Season 1 on Blu-ray, and the show's brilliant. If you're a fan of like Buffy and Angel and Farscape, definitely give it a go. It's got a 90s feel to it, and the characters are really endearing. It's a bit simple. It's definitely not Game of Thrones, but it's really good, really good. Really, I can't wait to watch Season 2, and I hope they carry on putting extras on this, because I really do enjoy this game. So yeah, that's it from me. That's it for my pickups. I ain't got a clue how long this video is run for. It doesn't say on my camera, but it might say on the audio. About 40 minutes. Not too bad considering it's 30 games, but I'm sorry for wasting 40 minutes of your life. It'll probably be the last pickups video from me for a while again, because I am trying not to pick up games, trying to get rid of them. Not bring them in, I want to get rid of them. I'll explain that in another video. Don't worry, I haven't given up gaming or anything, I just need to get rid of the vast majority of them. I think that is it from me. Let me know what you think of the quality of this video, because I am looking to improve it, and also what you think of the angle, because I'm not quite set on an angle yet. I'm not too sure how I feel about you being able to see like a light switch and a door and all that. Might move things about. Do you prefer it on the original angle? Because I think I prefer the original angle. Most of you probably couldn't give a shite. Anyway, that's it from me, guys. Cheers. Enjoy. Fucking hell, it's hot. I look like a plum.